Hi, welcome to the project portion of making infographics here on Skillshare. Like I said, you don't have to use Easily. We're going to be using Easily for the purpose of this tutorial. I want to show you how to use something that's free, something that you can use in your class, get your students to create, and really make their projects pop without having to purchase expensive software license for your school. You are capable of making infographics with the Adobe Creative Suite, like Adobe Illustrator and Photoshop would be more than sufficient, even way better than using Easily. But Easily is a good free source for you guys to use, and you can sign up for free. There are some paid options when it comes to Easily. Easily to download into PDF in the file format that you want, you do have that is a paid feature, but you can get a shareable link, which works perfect if you're already using an online learning management system like Google Classroom or Microsoft OneNote or Moodle. I've already signed in here, so we're going to go and get going. So once you signed in, you'll get a little screen that looks like this. I've been playing around, so you see that and then you have a bunch of different visual templates that you can use and edit as you are going. And there's you can share your infographics with other people to make sure that they can see that. If you make one that you're really proud of, you can save that and share that with other people so that they can use that as well. We're going to start with a empty template to start with this lesson on how to do that. So you're going to see this thing like "Welcome to Easily," and you give it gives you a couple instructions. And so if you wanted to drag and drop icons and templates to the canvas, double click on text to edit. So if I wanted to change this, I could just double click in there um, and I can type this whatever I want to. So I'm just going to say this text has now been changed. Okay, so I can do stuff like that. I don't really need this one, so I'm going to get rid of that. I can go into, if you see your menu up here, there's lots of different little things that you can put in here. You can search for different images, or you could go and you'll see a list here of different things that you could put in there. So say I wanted to make something for chemistry, I could put an image for chemistry, and then I can resize that however I wish. Now I'm holding Shift right now to make sure that it keeps going in a uniform way, but I can also rotate that to make it a little bit more interesting for my students or stuff like that. However, this is not stuff that I really want to do. You're more than welcome to make your own templates, and I encourage you to do so in the project and in the project portion here. Make sure that you guys are sharing your works in progress, so that you guys can get feedback from other students as well as possibly me, and really create something and try to push yourself into learning something new. I'm actually going to I'm going to go for a template here for sake of time, and I'm going to go down to process. If you guys looked in the description of the course, I talked about Bloom's taxonomy, and I'm gonna make a infographic here that I think that would work really well for, considering how it's already a pyramid. So rather than reinventing the wheel, I'm just going to take a template and I'm going to change it the way that I want to. So this is actually a perfect pyramid for blooms. There's 6 levels of blooms, so I'm just going to change the texts that are in here. And so the first level of Bloom's taxonomy is remember. The second level is understanding, so I'm just going to put understand. Third one is apply. The fourth one is analyzing, so analyze. And then we have evaluate. If I could type evaluate, there we go. And then the final level of blooms is create. Okay, so I'm decided that I'm going to make a infographic that explains what certain things are and give an example for students to use. So I'm actually going to change my title here from process infographic. I'm going to go ed tech Bloom's taxonomy. and that kind of looks like garbage, so I'm going to adjust that. So I'm going to middle justify it, and then I'm going to stretch it so it's all on one line. I'm going to get rid of one of these lines here, so I'm just going to click on these objects right here. And you can, just because you're using a template doesn't mean that you can't adjust how this is going here. So I think that this would look better if I made it a little bit wider and made it a little bit longer so it covers the ed tech. And I really liked how it looked with the double line, so I'm just actually going to Control C and Control V. Just copy and paste. Oops. Just copy and paste it. And then after I copy and paste it, I'm just going to move it over here. And it'll give you like these little bars right here to show that it's actually being centered where you want it to be. And there we go. Okay, so we got EdTech, Bloom's Taxonomy. We have a title, we have our pyramid being here, and now we got these like 6 different little boxes here. I kind of like the images that they have here. It kind of fits into what you're trying to do. Remember with Bloom's taxonomy here, the remembering is just basic, just being able to recall facts. So Jeopardy is not really Jeopardy is pretty much right here. So if you're playing Jeopardy, you're in the remembering area of the content. Understanding is being able to explain ideas, explain concepts. Once you get to apply, you're being able to use the information in new situations. And so take a lesson from one issue and apply the solution or apply the reasoning that was with that issue and apply it to a different one and being able to come up with a solution. Analyzing is being able to draw connections. So, okay, if this happens somewhere in the world, then this happens there. So seeing how comparing and contrasting similar events and problems would be an example for analyzing. To evaluate, this would be like if you're having a class debate, having a student create a position or justify a decision that they made. That would be in an evaluation level. And then creating is where the student is producing a new and original work, right? So I'm just going to go in here. So remember, to change text, all you have to do is double click the text box. And say I wanted to make my own text box, I can go text right here, and I can pick from a list right here. So if I say I wanted to do a numbered list, I could do this, right? And I could double check it right here. So this could be like first, double click, text boxes, second, highlight text, and then third, replace text. Okay, so if I wanted to do that, I could do that right there, but I don't really like that. I'm going to keep this there. You can also put in charts, you can put in lines, and you can put different backgrounds in, and you can even insert your own media. So you can search for stock photos on easily. You can actually paste a YouTube URL here, and you can upload your own files if that's something that you wish, as well as your students could do that as well for their infographics. So for your projects, see what creative things that you can put in your projects here. But let's move on here. Oops, it just shifted a little bit, so I'm just going to double click that, and I'm going to go under remembering is being able to. So recalling facts and basic concepts is the first level of Bloom's. So I'm going to give an example here underneath, and I'm just going to say have students link Kahoot that they created. That would be an example of a remembering exercise. One thing that you can also do here is you can actually hyperlink. So what you can do is you can actually go to this website right here. You can actually put this Kahoot link in there. You can go hyperlink and paste that link in there, and now this box will be hyperlinked to the link that the student has put in there, or what you have put in there. If you're sharing this with your students digitally, they'll be able to click this link, and it would be it'll be there. Okay. So for the next level, we got the understanding, and so this is explain ideas or concepts. Have a student. So have students create a screencast. If you haven't done screencasting, it's pretty slick. That's what I'm doing right now. I'm using one called OBS Studio. It is a download. It is free, but one that I have used in the past and have had a lot of success with in the past is actually Screencast-O-Matic. So you can have students create a screencast on a topic using Screencast-O-Matic. And I will go to that link right there. So I will actually just Google that, yeah, Screencast-O-Matic, and I'm going to put the link in there. So now I got that. I can hyperlink, and I'm going to put Screencast-O-Matic right there. Okay, so now this is now hyperlinked for the understanding level. Now I can move there, and as you can see, you're just typing in what you want in this, and it'll format to fit in there. So use information in new situations. Have students investigate an issue, and then use that information to solve a different problem. Students can use easily for this, so use easily to present information to the class. So instead of having a big presentation day where everybody stands up at the front of the class, that can be pretty intimidating for some kids. So you could do a whole like digital carousel sort of thing. So like kids make all these infographics, and if you have access to Chromebooks or netbooks or something like that, students can share these infographics with each other online, and then they can all interact with the different infographics. And so the kids are presenting the information that they found, but maybe in a little bit less of an intimidating way. So now that brings us up to analyzing. I shifted my text there. That brings us up to analyzing, and again, that's like drawing connections among ideas. So students are comparing and contrasting similar events and problems. Have students create a lucid chart. For their visual presentation. So if you haven't used lucid chart, again, that's another pretty slick tool that you guys could do. So if it's just lucidchart.com, it is fully integrated with Google Drive as well. So if you guys want to check out lucid chart, I might do another class in the future about lucid chart and how you guys can do that. It's a pretty cool tool. I've used it in my computer science classes for kids to make their flowcharts for their computer programs. And wiring diagrams for robotics. It's pretty versatile. The next part is evaluating, which is justify or a stand or decision. So what I've done in the past is I've actually created a Twitter hashtag, and I've moderated an online discussion on a current event between your students. Now, depending on what you want to do, like I personally don't like. I like having some time off after school, so like you can do this outside of class. Like if you wanted to do it online and have it be an optional thing, I've done it. I've done mine in class, just because I like being able to see them and being able to coach them on how to behave ethically online. So. And so the final thing that you could do is you can produce an original work, a new or original work. And that's the creating level. So an example of what you could do here is you can actually have your students create an original video using Adobe Spark, which is actually free online. So if we go to Adobe Spark, It'll be free. It's a free online tool, so you are able to create as many different free videos that you want on Adobe Spark, and it's pretty. It is also a pretty cool tool for kids to use. So um, I'm going to, and then here's where you could put the different sources that you used. Um, and for the one that I distribute, I put my sources with this in here too. So like I put my links in the ones that I distribute. So make sure that you're also always citing where you've got information from so that you're modeling good behavior for your students. All right, that is the project portion of creating an infographic for this course.